Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. This is part 2 to chapter 1, what, where, how and when. So in the last session we learned a lot of things. We learned more about Rashida. Yes, that girl that you guys all were so interested to learn about. So we happened to learn about Rashida. Then we talked about River Narmada. You can check the last video. We even talked of Suleiman and Kirthar range. Apart from that, we also managed to learn the location of Vindhyas and also where are Garo hills located. Indus River and its tributaries and River Ganga and its tributary. So in order to learn more, let's continue with the session. So we left the last class where I was telling that people used to travel from one place to another. This is not how they actually used to travel. Yes, so all these people who were so interested to travel from one place to another, they had to travel through the hills, they had to cover the distance through the desert, they also had to probably cover at that time the dangerous seas. They had to face the sea. So the best option available to them at that time to travel, they had caravans, which is more like a movable vehicle. They also used ships to travel from one place to another and also to carry their valuable stuff. Now, why this person is traveling, it's pretty obvious that he's in that spirit of adventure. Why this person is traveling, he's, let's say, adventurous, in the spirit of adventure. Why this person is traveling, let's say he is a spiritual guru. He's giving instructions, giving advice to people on the way. And why this person, let's say this lady, why is she traveling? Well, she's very interested to discover new places, so that's the reason. And when all of them meet each other, or back then they used to meet each other, they used to share their ideas. They used to share their culture. They used to share their music. They even used to share how do they cook. So it was not possible for all of them to come and cross these dangerous water bodies. Whosoever wished to definitely used to scale up the mountains and cross the sea to settle and to move to new location. Is everyone clear till here? Alright, now let's read further and talk about some new areas. For example, I am going to start off with our own country. I hope you all know where do we have our own country, where is India located. So this location here is India, or you call it Bharat. Now I know you have this question in mind that ma'am, why do we call it India? From where do we have this word? Well, in case you guys attended the last session, so you might be aware of the fact that we have this river Indus, right? So this river Indus, it has played a significant role in India's history. So from this river we derive the name India, and this river, which is called Indus, it is also called Sindhu River. Please mark my word, this Indus River, it comes from the word Sindhu. This word, S for Sindhu, S for Sanskrit. It is a Sanskrit word, right? So India comes from the word Indus, which indeed comes from a Sanskrit word, which is called Sindhu, right? And now we are going to look into some other important places. We are going to locate all those locations in the map. I am definitely in a position to cover all those maps with you guys. So let's see First of all, if we are in a position to learn where exactly do we have Iran, then I am going to talk more of Greece. Let's locate Iran. Let's see how many of you are interested to see where exactly do we have Iran. Now this area right here, can you see this area? This is what you call it Iran. And very near to Italy, this part here, this was considered Greece, which changed time over again. But this location is what you call it Greece. So these Iranians and these Greece people who lived in the northwest have civilization that existed about 2500 years ago. Yes, that's true. Their civilization existed 2500 years ago. And these people, they were very familiar with this Indus origin, the river that is towards the east. Now it's important to know that these people who were familiar with Indus River, they used to call, the Greece people, the Iranian, they used to call this river Indus, which I'm going to write it, they used to call this river as Hindos, or they used to call it Indos, which means that the land to the east of this river would definitely be named after it. Let's say this was named as India. Right? So definitely what I've covered with you as of now is the word India. It comes from this river Indus that has played a significant role in our history. Indus River is also called Sindhu, which is a Sanskrit word. Then we learned the Iranian and the Greek people who came through those northwestern boundary about 2500 years ago used to call this river as Hindos or Indos. And that is how India got its name. Now, if I talk of the name Bharat, it comes from the name Bharata. Now, what is this Bharata? These are a group of people who lived in this area, in this northwestern area, these people. So all those people who lived in this northwestern area, it was rightly mentioned in one of the earliest Vedas, Rig Veda, which was composed in Sanskrit, that we have a group of people who are known as Bharata, and that is how we derive the word Bharat. Isn't it very interesting to know? So definitely we got the word India from the river Indus. And we can associate Bharat from Bharata, which was mentioned in Rig Veda, which was dated about 3500 years ago. Now let's see if you are interested to learn more about the past. Is it that reading the books is going to help you? Well, there are other things that we are going to share with you. If you come across these facts like this, most of them, they are known as manuscripts. Yes. So these manuscripts, they were written by hand by a lot of people way back in the past. And the word manuscripts, this menu, script, it comes from the Latin word manu, which means, this is a Latin word which means hand. So these scripts, either they were written with, the first thing that you need to remember is they were written by hand, or either they used a leaf, any leaf available at that time, or at times they even used the palm leaves to write it. Yes, my dear kids. These manuscripts, they have been mentioned, they have record of the past. So either people used to use the palm leaves to write the manuscripts, or they used to write it on a special bark of the tree that is called birch. These are the special barks of the tree. They used to prepare them, and these were available in Himalayas. So all those people who were exploring, the areas, they managed to find out that there are palm leaves that have the history. And these leaves, they are specially written in a way that people can understand. Or maybe you can talk about the birch that is available from special trees that grow in Himalayan area. Now, over the years, if you can see this wooden piece, it also gets destroyed. So since there were not enough conservation plans back then, so most of the manuscripts have been eaten away by the insects, they've been destroyed. And many have still been preserved. Yes. Let me tell you, these manuscripts, they have still been preserved, and we can find many of them at some temples or monasteries like this. This is called a monastery. There are all kinds of books that we can read, medicinal books, which talks about the life of the people, science books, and we've got all of them written into basic languages. Whatever we have in the form of manuscripts, what we were looking for, these all were written into basic languages. One of them is Sanskrit, which was very difficult to be read by the ordinary people. And the other people used to write it in Prakrit, an easy language which could be understood by the ordinary people. Yes, and many even wrote it in Tamil. Right. So one of the person who started to deal with these books on all various subjects that we have. It could be all about the religion, it could be on science, it could be about the life of king, it could be on the medicine. It also have poems, plays written in it. When all of them started to read it, slowly and steadily, they realized that apart from manuscripts, we have these inscriptions. Yes. Now, what is this inscription? Inscription basically means something that's written on a very hard surface, probably a stone or a metal. So these are the inscriptions. This is the inscription that you see, something written on a hard surface. So sometimes the king used to say, "Hey, go, write something about me so that people can read and obey." So definitely this has some record about the king, about his victories, how he lived, how did the things used to, how we had things in the past. And those who study all about it, all about the past, those group of people who are more interested to study about the past, they are known as archaeologists. Yes, these are the people who want to study the remains of the stones and the bricks, or maybe even dig beneath the surface of the earth to find something. Could be pools, it could be the pots, it could be the pans, it could be the ornaments, any kind of coin, any bone that would give them what kind of life existed in the past. In case you guys are interested to know more about this chapter, please stay tuned. I'll soon come up with part 3. Until we meet next, please take care. Thank you.